let's talk about top 5 commanders in Rise of Kingdoms here in 2023. My name is Shinchi42. If you guys like Rise of Kingdoms content, consider subscribing and turn your notifications on. Now, since we played this game since it was released, back when it was Rise of Civilization, I don't know if many of you guys remember, a lot of things have changed. Back then, people were using Scipio a lot. So you can definitely see the progression of the game and how things have changed. Scipio was the man in the early stage back then. People were doing a lot of the mixed units, mixed troops, and everything in the game. So Scipio was the man. But now in 2023, since players have learned a lot better in the game, things have changed. So today, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 epic heroes in Rise of Kingdom. Now, I also challenge you guys in the comment section to type down, what is your top 5 epic commander in ROK? Now, first one that I want to mention, I would say it is the best epic commander in Rise of Kingdoms is Sun Tzu. A lot of players will probably agree with this one. Sun Tzu is got to be the #1 best epic commander in Rise of Kingdoms. Now, when we do suggest what type of civilization that you should be getting in the early game, we do always recommend to get the China civilization. Now, the reason why we recommend to get the China civilization is not because of the buff, but because of the starting commander that you are going to be getting. To start with a Sun Tzu puts you a very good situation in PvE and as well as PvP combat. So why is that the case? Well, when you have Sun Tzu can be paired up with any type of commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. But of course, Sun Tzu's specialty is with infantry. Now, Sun Tzu has an ability to hit multiple targets with the fan shape area AoE, provides more skill damage, which works with pretty much with all of the commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. Sun Tzu can also be used to defend your city in the early stages as well. Sun Tzu has the ability to reduce damage taken whenever he is fighting as well. So Sun Tzu is the #1 onto the list when it comes to the best epic commander in Rise of Kingdoms. The second hero that we want to talk about in here and on our list will be Hermann. Hermann is a really, really good epic commander. Now, Hermann runs with Archer. So when I first started into the game, I also worked on Hermann. Why? Hermann has a great ability in here with a high damage factor, 1150. He has also have ability here to silence the enemy, which renders the enemy from casting a skill for 2 seconds, which is really good. Now, also Hermann has ability to reduce the rage of the enemy. So it's working 2 types of disable in here. Rage reduction and as well as silencing, preventing for casting. Hermann has an ability to increase the archer attack bonus in here, marching speed as well. Can also work as a defender. And you can also trigger more normal attack damage as well. Now, Hermann is really, really good for the archer players. Because in the combat, in the battlefield, whenever you're able to disable an enemy, you are actually contributing a lot in the battlefield. In the early stages of the game, Hermann plays a major role into the success of winning into the war, just as Sun Tzu is. So Hermann leading the archers in here is great, and if you are archer, then you also have a garrison commander for, for that period of time before you upgrade and get legendaries in the game. Now, the #3 best in here, I should say we're gonna go for cavalry. It's really a challenge between Belisarius and Baybars. I would go for this is hard. I want to go for Belisarius because of the mobility tree, but I'm just gonna put them in the same equal playing field at this moment because Baybars is great because it's able to deal significant amount of damage in the battlefield, but Belisarius is amazing because of its ability to, run around fast, chase enemies. You can use this on the Ark of Osiris as well. Has some debuff factors in here, attack reduction, defense reduction, low damage output. But what's great about Belisarius is whenever you are hunting for farmers, you can definitely use Belisarius to run around and you're not going to be chased by the enemy quickly. Now, Belisarius also has an ability to deal more damage to the barbarians, which is going to help you in the early stages as well, as you're trying to level up your commanders and you're trying to get more XP and just trying to do your daily grind. In the early stages, Belisarius has this very versatile ability to help you to make your account better. Belisarius is a very strong commander in Rise of Kingdoms, all right? Not in terms of the damage itself, but in terms of its ability to chase down and hunt down enemies. Now, Baybars, this is a really good commander as well because of the high skill damage, able to increase further onto the cavalry attack. The conquering part, we don't want to talk about that, not a huge importance. But it also has some healing ability in here whenever you leave the battle. So I would say for the cavalry, it really is a tie between Belisarius and Baybars. Back in the day, I would say, before those two were released, I gotta say Pelagius, but I think these two heroes definitely trumps over Pelagius. So we've given you infantry, we've given you archer, and we've given you cavs. Now we have two more in here in our top 5. I kind of want to go towards saying that the fourth one would be Kosunoki. Kosunoki is also a really strong epic commander. It has, again, similar to Zuntu, has an AoE damage, also able to remove any control buff as well, slows, poison, exhaust, and other buffs in here. Has a decent amount of damage factor with additional damage factor, and has a continuous attack as well in here with this bleed, basically. And then you're also going to be able to increase, further onto the archer buff as well. Now, this is definitely one of the best commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. Now, the fourth one, I'm going to go for a gatherer in here because in Rise of Kingdoms, if you are not able to get resources, then you're not going to basically progress fast as well. Now, back in the day, I would say Joan of Arc would probably be the best one in here. Gathering speed bonus, 25% loading bonus in here, and you can also use it per PvP as well. But if we look into better type of gatherer, I would want to go for Matilda instead. The reason why I go for Matilda is because of this last skill. Receives 10% resources upon completion of the gathering. This is huge. Better than the speed, all right, whenever you're gathering like gold. But in the early stage as well, it doesn't really matter. In early stage in here, when you're using some of the epics in here, you are going to be working on getting stone, food, and wood. Works really well also on the farm accounts. But later stage, you want to gather gold. But this is what you would want to use to get this additional 10% resources upon completion of gathering. Now, let's talk about some notable commanders in here as well in Rise of Kingdoms. So I'm going to pick 3 that are notable in my head that I can think of. I would go for Kiera. Getting Kiera is very helpful. Gives you a lot of damage for barbarians. In some certain situations like events, you can use Kiera and do a lot of damage in the non-scenario battles. Kiera also has some decent damage factor in here as well. This is Archer. I use Kiera a lot actually for my, whenever I grind for barbs. I would also talk about Bjorn Ironside. This is also a really good commander in Rise of Kingdoms, Bjorn Ironside as well. And then let's also talk about Boudica in here, one of the older commanders here in Rise of Kingdoms. Good amount of damage factor, reduces the rage of the target by 100, and then reduces the attack of the target as well by 25%. Which is huge debuff, almost similar to Herman. And you also have a damage bonus towards the barbarians as well, which is huge, and also get 20% XP bonus. Helps you out to level up your commanders in Rise of Kingdoms fast in the early stage. Rage restored as well. You gain more rage whenever you're using Boudica as well. Healing factor as well. And you also have, some type of crit ability in here when you're using Boudica as well. So Boudica is one of the best as well in here. I would say the notable mention for the commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. So let me know what is your top 5 and maybe give me your notable commanders as well in Rise of Kingdoms. So let's see where you stand to my point of view for the top 5 commanders in ROK. Keep in mind, everyone have their own differences of top 5. So let's respect everyone's, comments in the comment section. Anyway, my friends, rockers, thank you guys for watching. I will see you again next time.